Hi everyone, my name's Madison from the 519 Community Center, and I use the pronouns she, her, or they, them. And this is our friend Felix, and he uses the pronouns he, him. Are you ready for a story today, Felix? Yeah. Let's see, hopefully you like this one. It's called From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea. And it's written by Kai Cheng Thom, and it's illustrated by Wai-Yant and Kai Cheng. Once upon a time, in a blue house on the hill in the edge of town, a baby was born. They were born with both the moon and the sun were in the sky, so the baby couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Boy or girl, bird or fish, cat or rabbit, tree or star, so the baby looked a little like everything. They looked very strange. All the same, the baby's mother gave her child a bath and rocked them in her arms. "Your name," she said, "is Mulan," and she sang a song that her own mother had sung to her long ago. "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab, you can, or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be there, I'll be near standing by. And you know that I'll love you till the day that I die." And even though they still couldn't decide, the baby felt loved. Oh, Felix is stretching out here. He's getting into the story. Mulan grew up to be a strange, magical child who was always changing. They grew feathers and wings to fly with bluebirds in the mornings, scales and a tail to swim with fish in the afternoons, and fur and paws to play with puppies in the evenings. No matter how many things Mulan became, their mother always brought them back into the little blue house, gave them a bath, and tucked them into bed at the day's end. As the stars rose, she sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mulan felt loved. One day, it was time for the child to go to school. They were so excited. They grew a tail of peacock feathers and a coat of tiger stripes. "Have fun," said Mulan's mother, but when they got to school, the other students were either boys or girls. They had no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, not even any sparkles. No one invited Mulan to play. One little boy ran up to the child and asked, "What are you supposed to be?" Mulan didn't know how to answer. Uh-oh. And the boy's pulling their peacock feathers. I'm sure that doesn't feel very nice for Mulan. When they came home, their mother asked how they'd liked school. "It's okay," said Mulan. "Did you make any friends?" "Not really," said Mulan. That night, Mulan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high. I'll always be here, I'll be near standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die." And Mulan felt loved, but also worried. The next day, they wore a turtle shell and porcupine spines. No one pulled or poked Mulan, but the other children still pointed and whispered. "Did you make any friends today?" asked their mother. "Not really," said Mulan. I bet they're feeling really discouraged. That night, Mulan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mulan felt loved, but they also felt sad. The next day, Mulan wore no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, no shells, and no spines, but not even any sparkles. Mulan was invited to play baseball with the boys. No one pointed, whispered, laughed, or stared, but when Mulan joined the little girls playing hopscotch, "Boys don't play hopscotch," said a little girl. "Are you a boy or a girl anyway?" asked a little boy. "Didn't you have a shell the other day?" asked a little girl. "And feathers the day before?" "What are you supposed to be?" said several children at once. I don't think that made Mulan feel very nice at all. "I don't know," Mulan shouted, and galloped out of the playground on horse's hooves, swam through the stream with a fish's tail, and soared up the hill on eagle's wings. "How was school?" asked Mulan's mother. "I wore feathers and stripes so that the other kids would think I was beautiful, but they thought I was weird. And then I wore a shell and spines so that no one would pull or poke me, but they wouldn't talk to me. And then I tried to be just like everyone else, but I haven't made any friends. I can't decide what to be. Why do I have to be just one thing?" "It isn't always easy being different from everyone else," said their mother. "But you can only be who you are." "What if the other children don't like who I am?" sniffled Mulan. Their mother smiled sadly. "I don't know," she admitted, "but I do know this. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Mulan felt loved. That night, they slept a deep sleep. Kind of like Felix right now. And the next day, Mulan wore fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and many sparkles that glittered like stars. For a moment, none of the other children spoke. Then a little girl said, "You can fly? That's so cool." "I like your sparkles," said a little boy. "I'm sorry that I pulled your feathers," said the boy with red hair. "I was a little jealous of them." Mulan asked, "Does anyone want to play with me?" They showed the other children how to gallop like horses, climb like monkeys, and swim like fish. It was fun to be many different things. And the child of fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and sparkles, who was neither boy nor girl, but many things and always changing, felt happy. In the little blue house on the hill on the edge of town, Mulan's mother smiled and sang the song her mother had sung to her once upon a time. "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here, I'll be near standing by, and you know that I'll love you till the day that I die. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, for you are my child, courageous and free." The end. Wow. I hope you liked that story as much as I did. I really love Mulan's character, and I love how much they love sparkles and feathers and all of the different ways that they show up in the world. Yeah, maybe we can read this one again sometime. You'll have to let me know if you liked it. One other really exciting thing about this book, and you might have noticed, is that Mulan uses the pronouns they, them. And we talked about this earlier, but I hope that maybe we can sing a song together to practice our pronouns and remember that this is one way that we can make folks feel welcome and seen, and that we can respect each other by respecting each other's pronouns. All right? So it's called the Bouncy Mouse song, if anyone remembers. It goes like this. You can use your fingers to bounce the mouse around the house. So first we'll start off with the mouse that uses she, her pronouns, okay? The bouncy mouse was in the house. She's been there for a week. She bounces in the kitchen. She bounces in the den. She bounces in the living room and whoop, there she goes again. All right, let's try that one more time, and we'll try using they, them pronouns, just like Mulan, okay? Bouncy mouse was in the house. They've been there for a week. They bounce in the kitchen. They bounce in the den. They bounce in the living room, and whoop, there they go again. Yeah! I think Felix likes this song. He's woken up. So we can use they, them pronouns for folks if those are the pronouns that they choose to use. And we can also use they, them pronouns if we're not sure of someone's pronouns. So if you walked up to a new friend on the street and you weren't sure what pronouns they use, you can use the pronouns they, them to refer to them. All right? So that's it for today, and I hope that soon we'll be able to come together again and you can let me know how you liked the story, what your favorite parts were, and maybe you can even show me some pictures that you've drawn, maybe playing with Mulan. All right? We'll see you later. Bye.